Good evening. Welcome to the commencement ceremony for the Campus Community High School class of 2013. In just a moment, our graduates will be processing into the theater. At this time, please ensure that all cell phones and other electronic devices are on silent. This is a momentous occasion for all of our graduates. As we celebrate their accomplishments, we ask that all guests honor the nature of this formal ceremony. Please save all cowbells, bullhorns, and excited outbursts for another time. Without further ado, we will begin the 2013 Campus Community High School graduation. Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light, once so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, when the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets trembling, the bombs bursting in it, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the free.
Hi, everybody. That was creepy. I would like to welcome family, friends, administrators, and distinguished guests to the 2013 Campus Community High School commencement ceremony. To my fellow graduates, please make up your mind if you're going to clap or not. That was just awkward for everybody. To my fellow graduates, I say, hey, yo, what's up? These last 158 school days have been unique, to say the least. From changing to different closets, I mean classrooms, to different schedules, but more importantly, to different schoolmates this year. I could not help but absorb some valuable musical advice. From the hip-hop artist Drake, I learned that he started from the bottom, now he's here. Well, this class definitely started from the bottom, as Mr. Booker's first and only class, Miss Smith's first of many classes, and the guinea pig staging the first Culture Fest. Now we are here, mentoring graduates of future classes, taking college courses, and interning anywhere and everywhere. From the winner of American Idol, Kelly Clarkson, I learned what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, I guess she's never done a senior thesis. Miss Doyle, wherever you are, do not say it was not that bad, because it was. I can't look at green, blue, or pink note cards without thinking about whether to summarize, quote, or paraphrase. Thank you for that. Famous country star Taylor Swift says, "I knew you were trouble when you walked in." Taylor must have been in the front office during Fitness Friday. The reflection bench had quite a workout during that 40 minutes. Coming from the new artist on the scene, Macklemore, his song... Someone want to answer that? Whoever it is, tell him I said hi. His song Thrift Shop taught me to shop on a budget. However, I find it cheaper and easier just to ask Miss Garner for it. Rap artist A$AP Rocky says he has a problem. Well, I bet Mr. Link could answer it, then give him plenty of ways to solve it, and numerous sample and practice problems. Mr. Link, the next time I plan to complete the square is during a game of dots. Graduating from campus also came with its own tidbits of advice. From the numerous trips to Wawa and other places, I learned to ask every person I ran into if they wanted anything, and more importantly, to write everything down. Another tip I learned from campus was to carry your own first aid kit, not for yourself, but for others. Miranda Sweetly. I'm sorry. Like the song Teach Me How to Dougie, plenty of people here today have taught us many things. Mr. Link, you okay? Mr. Link has taught us the importance of coffee. Coffee can be great and all, but I hear penicillin was pretty helpful too. Miss Doyle, Miss Doyle. She gave us the knowledge of taking care of our planet. How about electronic assignments instead of printed? Senora Cisneros gave us an insight into the Hispanic culture. Tomé 4 años de español y esto es lo mejor que podría ocurrir. Don't worry about what I just said. Miss McKee and Miss Cromwell, the dynamic duo, showed us how hard it is to be a teacher, especially a math teacher. I apologize. Miss Marler gave us the gift of curiosity, notably in the areas of combustion and explosion. Mr. Tharp Watson, commonly known as Jeremy, gave us the infamous quadratic formula song. And if your career as a parent goes south, I'll hire you as the official DJ for the class of 2013. Miss Wissinger, what can I say about you? She likes to feed us. She likes to feed us. She fed us one more time, and I think she might do a little something with BPA. Miss Kirk, the unstereotypical physical education teacher, not only gave us tips on how to be active, but also a chuckle time and again. Miss Henry, Miss Power, and the gone but never forgotten, Miss Paula. The office trifecta. They laughed at our stories, kept us occupied and out of trouble, and became our scholastic moms here at campus. Oh, Miss Green. The days of you being the high school principal may be gone, but never forgotten. Miss Clark, without you, we seniors would still be thinking about what classes we plan on taking last fall semester. Miss Hermans, our faithful leader, you work behind the scenes to keep this play we call senior year in production. And now the curtain falls. Reflecting back on the year of my presidency, I cannot help but be reminded, mainly by Ms. Doyle, of probably the most famous quote from President John F. Kennedy's time in office. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. In true campus fashion, I had to tweak it, since I'm not the ruler of any country, at least not yet anyway. Before you start to space out or practice crossing the stage one last time in your mind, I'm going to leave you with something to think about as we finish one leg and start another in the marathon called life. Ask not what the world can do for a graduate, but what a graduate can do for the world. Thank you.
Next up is your 2013 salutatorian. This young lady first came to CCS in her 9th grade year and has achieved an amazing array of accomplishments since then. Aside from participating in National Honor Society, Student Activities Board, Newark Arts Alliance, DECA, Yearbook, and the Senior Officers Team, she has also won numerous awards including 3rd place in Abstract at the Dover Art League High School Exhibition and 2 silver keys in the Scholastic Art and Writing Competition. In addition to academic achievements, she was also a good friend to many, including myself, who all knew her as a quirky, talented, kind, and of course, artistic person. Of her favorite memories at campus, she fondly recalls days spent at the lunch table with her ridiculous friends, saying good laughs were always shared. I agree, that lunch table was crazy. Graduating with a GPA of 97.7, 5 college classes, and plans to attend the University of Delaware with a major in visual communications, please welcome your salutatorian, Emily Breimer, to the stage.
Can everyone hear me? It seems fitting that our graduation ceremony is on race weekend because, if you think about it, high school is a lot like a NASCAR race. It's hard work, it takes a lot of practice, sometimes you have to adjust your pace, and sometimes it seems like you're just going in circles. Sometimes you hit a wall and you think you're going to wipe out, but there's always a team in the pit ready to help you when needed. Before we cross the finish line and receive our diplomas, it's time to thank our pit team, our sponsors, and the people who have been cheering us on in the stands for the past 4 years. I'd like to begin by recognizing the efforts of our senior class. Despite the changes the high school program went through, most of our class stayed at campus this year because receiving a diploma from Campus Community High School means something to each and every one of us. For some of us, it means completing 12 years of campus. For others, it means graduating with your best friends and for for one of us, it was a return home. From the get-go, everyone was committed to having a fantastic senior year. We were all looking forward to not having to wear polo shirts. People were excited to have a prom on a boat. We were determined to have a real yearbook, and some of us took advantage of taking college classes, internships, and mentoring opportunities. Our indoor field hockey team, Little Pep Rally, and clubs like BPA, DECA, and Odyssey of the Mind made it feel like a regular senior year. I think everyone gained their freshman 15 this year. There was lots of food and laughter. But there were challenges. Sharing bathrooms with people half our height. Getting locked in our classrooms. Laptops which only worked sometimes, especially on Rosetta Stone, and writing senior thesis. We supported each other through it all. But we couldn't have made it through the year without the support of the entire CCS community. From the moment it was decided that there would be a senior program, everyone at our school made sure that the seniors were taken care of. From a team-building trip to Campuc to making sure that BPA and DECA trips were funded and our transcripts were sent, The administration and the staff took care of us. We are especially thankful to Ms. Garner, Mr. Link, and Ms. Doyle. Many of us would not have gotten into college without Ms. Garner's help on college essays and filling out FAFSA. Mr. Link and Ms. Doyle not only helped us understand how numbers work and the importance of current events, but they taught us lessons that can't be found in books. We learned to be empathetic, to look at the world with a critical eye, and to be kind. They taught us not what to think, but how to think for ourselves. During my 4 years at Campus Community, I realized that simply getting good grades was not the goal. I learned that all learning is valuable and to embrace it as a lifelong process. Campus helped me find my creativity and gave me a sense of purpose. Finally, we are all grateful to our parents and relatives for their support. This year was especially tough for me considering that I live in Newark and had to commute 90 minutes to get to school and back. Without the help of my parents, I would not have been able to make it to school and school events. Even though this is the last year of Campus Community High School, it is not the end because its graduates will continue to build its legacy by making the world a better place. Thank you. Now I'd like to introduce our valedictorian. She is one of the 4 graduates who have attended CCS for 12 years. Her many interests include science and animals, field hockey, and soccer. She has participated in mock trial, Odyssey of the Mind, and served on the Kent County Youth Philanthropy Board. Her leadership positions include the Student Government Association's Vice President, President of CCS's Business Professionals of America, and President of CCS's National Honor Society. She is the recipient of a Silver Key in the Regional Scholastic Art and Writing Awards, an AAUW Award for Science and Mathematics, Most Improved Player and Coaches Award in Soccer, 3rd place in the Individual Exhibit category at state competition level for National History Day, and is a 2-time winner in the Graphic Design Promotion category for BPA and a 2-time BPA ambassador. Having earned 28 college credits already and a 99.9 GPA, she will enter Ohio State next year as a zoology major. I'm happy to introduce my friend and our class valedictorian, Haley Curtis.
Good evening. In case you forgot within the past 30 seconds, I'm Haley Curtis. Despite having gone to campus, where they have made me give presentations ceaselessly for 12 years, I hate public speaking. And unfortunately, it seems I'm supposed to make a serious speech. Advice I was given ranged from mentioning funny memories to rapping my speech, and I promised I would shout out my friend Kayla. Luckily for Miss Doyle, I was persuaded not to make my speech about turtles, although it might interest some of you that turtles have favorite colors. This year has been exciting like the Campuc team building trip, confusing like the 5 months of senior thesis, good like all of the food we ate, bad like the homecoming that shall not be named, fun like prom on a boat, and most notably, stressful for everyone involved. On a serious note, some things are in order. We are sincerely appreciative of the staff and administration that made it all possible. And since we only have 2 teachers that took care of everything this year, and I mean everything, I think I can say an extra super special thanks to Ms. Doyle and Mr. Link. High school graduation is a pivotal point in our lives. I know that some of you in the audience are thinking to yourself that high school was nothing special, and all you can seem to recall is that you had a really stupid hairdo. But 12th grade is the last year that you spend in the public education system, the last year that you have a guaranteed group of familiar faces surrounding you, and the last year before you have to make some really big decisions about your life and where you're going. High school graduation is a moment in which to be proud that you have made it this far, sad that your life is changing, and happy to get the heck out of that building, especially one filled with a bunch of small children. But before I bore you all to death, I have a book that I thought nicely summed up the feeling of graduating. It is called Yay You, Moving Out, Moving Up, and Moving On by Sandra Boynton. Yay you! You did it! You're done! You made it! You're through! Oh, what a great moment! Now what will you do? There are so many choices. The world is immense. Take a good look around and decide what makes sense. Some like to go fast. Some like to go slow. Some like to get going, however they go. Some strive to be peaceful and joyful and wise. Some choose to just ponder the size of their thighs. So look north and look south. Look ahead, look behind. Stare into the mirror. Now, what do you find? Should you live where it's cold? Should you live where it's hot? Do you want to be terribly busy or not? Do you need lots of friends or only a few? Would you like to have friends with a new point of view? Is your mind moved by science, or does art move your soul? Do you listen to rivers, or to great rock and roll? Do you long for adventure? Do you love to read maps? Would you rather stay home with your chocolate, perhaps? You already have wit, you already have style. You have very kind eyes and a dazzling smile. But now, but now, but now, but now. Hey, what's the hurry anyhow? There are places to get to and projects to do, people to talk with and lunches to chew. But stopping a while is okay too. And whatever you do, now or later, big or small, loud or quiet, whatever you do, don't worry, just try it. Whatever you do, whether near or so far, I know you'll be great. You already are.
Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. This is from Disney characters Lilo and Stitch. Tonight's speakers represent family to us. When the senior officers sat down to talk about who we wanted to be our speakers at graduations, Ms. Doyle told us about past speakers who were political leaders or poets. But we decided, as the last class, that we wanted something a little closer to home. Part of the wonders of our small school is the personal relationships that we develop with our teachers and staff members. It tends to be a campus thing. This was by far the quickest decision that the senior officers made all year. Tonight, wasn't it great? It was within a minute. Tonight's two speakers have connected with more students than any other staff members because their door was always open from 8th grade to 12th. And they weren't even here our 12th grade year. Ms. Robin Smith, who taught Introduction to Technology and Media Communication Arts at Campuc Community High School for 4 years, while also coaching the cheerleading team, showed us that we can overcome difficulties, especially if we try. She coached the cheerleading team to 3 state victories, beating out schools that were much bigger than our own. Kayla described her as dedicated. Others describe her as a type A personality with a soft spot in the middle. You have all met Grace. She's the kid version of Miss Smith. Miss Smith has also taught us to be strong and goal-oriented. She showed us through her many classes that hard work and goals pay off. Miss Dorothy Wheatley was the campus nurse for 5 years. Those of you who have not met Miss Wheatley should know that she embodies peace. She has shown us that peace is the answer to everything that we encounter. Jasmine described Miss Wheatley as gentle and sweet. Mercedes calls her the epitome of motherly love. She's also known for her honesty, and like Miss Smith, is loud at times. Miss Wheatley, who was officially our school nurse, also became our personal counselor. There are many people who go to her for advice, and her advice is often blunt. Paige Hearn describes each of these women as a best friend to everyone. Everyone agrees that these two women impacted us more than they will ever know. Do you remember the word I started off my speech with? Ohana. It means family. Miss Smith and Miss Wheatley have represented Ohana to our class. They have shown us that we are a family, and they are a part of this family, the campus family. So allow me to introduce two very important campus family members, Miss Robin Smith and Miss Dorothy Wheatley.
We are honored to be a part of this momentous occasion. In fact, the honor of delivering this commencement address is for Dorothy and I, the Academy Award of Life. I'm sorry. Initially, we both questioned why we were worthy of speaking. Still unemployed and now a full-time grad student, I questioned what kind of motivation I could provide.
My turn. I received a text from Paige Hearn, and I'm sure she just said, like, would you speak for our graduation? And I received a text, and I said, did you need to send that to me? So, yeah, I was taken quite aback because people who do speak at graduation are your representative, your senator, somebody that's wrote a book or done something really great. And it took me a while to get back to Paige, not because I didn't want to do this, because we touched on this before. You know, when people are asked if they would rather speak in front of a crowd or die, they often say die. So that was the only thing that was holding me back. It is truly an honor, and I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. I am truly, truly honored to do this today for you.
As am I. Despite our temporary inferiority complex issues, we knew we could not decline. The emotion set in. Could it be that we actually made a difference? Once the tears subsided, we had to get to work, thinking about what we were going to say to the illustrious Lucky 13. All of our initial ideas and thoughts centered on how much you have given us and your validation that we have left an impression upon you. Every educator wants to inspire his or her students. However, we do not always think about how our students will inspire us. This is exactly what you guys have done for us. You provided a source of inspiration in our lives. In choosing us to deliver this address, we feel that you were actually listening to the many lessons that we've tried to provide. Your senior year in and of itself is a living proof of this. Trailblazers, the 29 of you stood blindly as juniors, trusting in the program that all but existed. You did not follow many of your beloved classmates to Dover, CR, or other schools. You remained loyal to CCHS. It wasn't easy, but this is the beauty of forging your own path. You took on leadership roles within CCS, mentoring, coaching, working closely with staff to provide the younger Cougars a small piece of what you have been given as students. You represented CCHS on local, statewide, and even national platforms through your club and community service activities. You supplemented your course load with internships, college classes, and other opportunities. Sure, you could have easily transferred and had a more traditional senior year, but instead you chose to make history and close a chapter of campus that no one will soon forget. This being said, Dorothy and I are confident that you encompass the potential to be good citizens and community leaders. We know that you will persist in finding as well as progressing your chosen paths in life. You know already to think about what you're going to do before you do it, and you will use your previous experience to help you. As social as many of you can be, and you know you're social at times, you also know how to work independently, but realize the benefit of asking for help. So what do you say to such a remarkable class?
I think with that, let's do a little exercise. If you all just take, let me see, your right arm and put it right in front of you, the graduating class, straight out in front of you. Okay, now you bend over this way. lay across your shoulder, start patting. You guys have done an excellent job. Really be patting yourself on the back. Those of you who know me well know I'm quite the quote person or philosopher, and I like my little stories. This was one that my son happened to send to me a couple of years ago, and it's a Native American story that I'd like to share with you. It's the story of two wolves. It says, one evening an old Cherokee told his grandson about a battle that goes on inside people. He said, "My son, the battle is between two wolves inside us all. One is evil. It is anger, envy, jealousy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego. The other is good. It is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith." The grandson thought for a minute and looked at his grandfather. He says, "Well, which wolf wins?" And the grandfather simply said, "The one you feed." We're not born stupid, poor, and inferior. Our lives and the various forms they take are choices. Being campus kids, you are all too familiar with that concept of choice. With all the exciting opportunities that await you, your choices will determine the people you will become. No matter how many lectures, blasts, threats, come to Jesus meetings, crying sessions, or bribes we may have had, you are now adults, and what you do truly, now more than ever before, is entirely up to you.
So you need to continue to choose. You can choose to be mediocre, or you can choose to recognize and embrace your talents and go above and beyond. You can choose to be a victim, or you can choose to recognize that there are others worse off and realize your blessings and see that the cup of life is always half full. You can perpetuate people you were not raised or taught to be, or you can live your truth. In doing so, you will find that life is not always easy. However, when times get hard and your resolve is tested, reflect on your campus foundation. Your destiny is in fact grounded in your truth. You can choose to blend into the crowd, or you can step out of your comfort zone and choose to inspire others. In this, you can choose to ignore how great you really are and be fearful of your potential successes, or you can continue to strive and take what is rightfully yours. As you continue on this wonderful journey we call life, realize that wisdom will not always accompany you, and there will be mistakes made. Unfortunately, mistakes are indeed a part of life. It is through lessons learned from these mistakes that we're able to get closer to success. As a matter of fact, it is a mistake of not learning anything from these experiences that will defeat you.
So here I come with another quote. Miranda, this one's for you, honey. John Lennon, everybody know who John Lennon is? All right. John Lennon's mother, when he was a very young child, always instilled in him to be happy. So when he went to school and was given assignments to write down what he wanted to be when he grew up, he would simply write happy. And the teacher would tell him he didn't understand the assignment, and he would look at the teacher and say, "You don't understand life." I hope that in everything you do and you choose to do above all, you will be happy, and that happiness will pay forward to someone else.
And if you've been listening and taking your experience at CCHS to heart, you will find your lives can continue to serve as inspiration to others. So class of 2013, we have one final question. You recall the story of the two wolves? Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay, Lucky 13. Your wolves are hungry. Which wolf will
we feed?
Thank you.
What's up, y'all?
This week? So, since these two wonderful women
We love
right
them.
behind us, they didn't have the opportunity to stay with us for our senior year, reflect back on the memories. So, we're going to pay it forward, like they said, and give these people our wonderful yearbook.
Thank you. I just have a few words before we go on to the part that you're all waiting for. Today is an important, heartwarming, and for some, a tearful moment. We are here today to mark and celebrate the graduation of 27 amazing young ladies and gentlemen. We are also here to support them as they embark on a new journey. This unknown new path will take them in many different directions and toward many different experiences. I applaud all of you who have supported these graduates and helped them reach this extraordinary milestone. Seniors, as you begin your journey, there is a wish I have for you that is best summed up in the words of prize-winning author, and I don't have to say the first name, but it's Arundhati Roy. I wish for each of you to love and to be loved, to never forget your own insignificance, to seek joy in the saddest places, to never simplify what is complicated or complicate what is simple, to respect strength, never power, above all to watch, to try and understand, and to never look away. And never, never to forget. May you never forget your years at Campus Community School and the lessons you have learned. Class of 2013, you are phenomenal. The world is waiting for you. Go get them. The class of 2013 has met all of the requirements for the graduation as set forth by the Delaware Department of Education as well as the Campus Community School Board. We will now present our graduates with their diploma. Please come forward as I call your name. Angelina Marie Banker. Emily Reimer. Jasmine Gia Camatlang. Chelsea Kaysen, I'm sorry. Haley Curtis. Dylan Daniel Ennis. Ian Fisher. Dominique Roosevelt Herman. Terry Lynn Harrison. Paige Hearn. Jamal Renard Hill. Sharday Janine Hopkins. Mercedes Jennings. Justin Johnson. Dominique Tavon Jordan. Austin John Kelly. Kennedy. Brooke Lawson. Amanda Lynn McDonald. Ashanti Kamani Paisley. The free one. Kayla Powell. Zachary Todd. Emily Wagger. Dylan Wissinger. Caitlin Wojcik. Paige Elizabeth Yancey.
Let's have another round of applause for class. They will be missed. In addition to awarding diplomas this evening, I would like to take this opportunity to celebrate the accomplishments of a few individuals who have a special connection to campus. 12 years ago, these 4 seniors dressed in their red, white, and blue polo shirts walked into first grade classrooms in Bradford Hall. They were starting their lives as campus cougars the very first year our high school opened. We have all enjoyed watching each one of these eager first graders grow into exceptional young adults. One of them was even a child in my classroom for 2 years. We have a special connection above and beyond. In honor of their commitment to Campus Community School and their dedication to their academic success, I am pleased to present each one of these members of the class of 2013 a $500 CCS scholarship. Please come forward as I read your name. Sharday Hopkins. Zachary Todd. I'd also like to send a thank you out to their families. Stay being a campus community school is a commitment to being part of a family, being part of an active part of your child's education. And we have enjoyed having every one of you here for all 12 years as well. In addition to our seniors, I'd like to take this time to recognize two very important members of our faculty. These two individuals can be credited with ensuring that the 27 graduates in front of me, and many, many more who have crossed this stage before them, have gone on to become productive members of the community. These two educators pour their heart and soul into everything they do, and always approach their work with a student-centered focus. As we have transitioned through this highly atypical year, we know that we could not have had two better educators leading the senior class. At this time, I'd like to ask Kathy Doyle and John Link to please rise so that we may all recognize your professionalism, dedication, and positive influence on all who have passed through the halls of Campus Community High School. Next week, during our teacher in-service, 2 trees will be planted in Kathy and John's honor so that we may always be reminded of the way they've helped us all to grow. Next, we have 2 of our seniors, Amanda McDonald and Mercedes Jennings, come forward to sing our alma mater.
Sing alma mater, one and all, to CCS we're true. Wearing colors rising tall in red and white and blue. We stand together side by side, showing all our Cougar pride, learning friends and family at Campus Community.
Before I introduce this year's Cougar Scholarship recipient, I'd like to congratulate the class of 2013. At the beginning of the year, a few students commented on how it would be a shame if the world ended on December 21st, 2012, as some had predicted it would. They felt it would be cheating them out of 13 years of education and not being able to graduate. After Christmas break, everyone was able to breathe a sigh of relief. Little did they know that December 21st, 2012 was not the only end-of-the-world opportunity that was going to present itself. As a matter of fact, at 4:59 p.m. yesterday, asteroid 1998 QE2 passed razor close, 3.6 million miles from the Earth.
So close.
This 1.7 mile wide asteroid, had it hit us, would have ended life as we know it, and the students would not have been able to graduate. I'm here to announce to all of you that it did not hit the Earth, and we can continue this graduation. So, without further ado, what is a cougar? A cougar is one of nature's most exquisite designs, giving it its graceful movements. A cougar's eyes are set to maximize visual acuity and distance of sight. I think we call that goal-oriented. They're able to climb quickly, but are smart enough to stop, regroup, and enable themselves to complete their mission. I think we call that persistence. Cougars are optimistic. They're opportunistic. They take advantage of every prospect that gives them their way. We call that self-direction. Cougars are true leaders. Am I speaking of campus cougars, or am I speaking of nature's cougars? Actually, I'm speaking of both. Each year, I have been given the honor of awarding the Cougar Scholarship to the Campus Community High School Cougar that best embodies these characteristics. This year, it is a bittersweet honor. While I believe this student has embodied the characteristics of a cougar, it is difficult knowing this will be the final high school Cougar Scholarship. If you will indulge me for just a moment, I would like to share with you this year's recipient's words on what it means for this recipient to be a cougar. This year's recipient lists other characteristics of cougars as persistence, responsibility, determination, respect, motivation, and finally adapting to change. The student goes on to say that Campus Community High School was, quote, helped further my transition from a child to a responsible young adult. Additionally, this student went on to say the most important way they were able to represent being a cougar was in their ability to adapt to change. And oh, what a change these students saw. I thought it was interesting the student mentioned how easily it would have been to just quit. But the student decided they needed to persevere. That's a mature decision. Finally, the student has come to the realization that change is a major aspect of life and that everyone has to face it. Emily Briner told us that staying at campus helped her handle life's stressful adjustments, and she believes all the cougar qualities that she has obtained will continue to help her persevere and grow throughout college and the rest of her life. It is with the greatest amount of pride that I reintroduce to you Campus Community High School's final Cougar Scholarship recipient, Miss Emily Briner.
So I discovered this song about probably 10 years ago, and when I first heard it, I thought, what a beautiful goodbye song, a beautiful graduation song. Now it does refer to raising a parting glass, so maybe it's not fully appropriate, but it's still a great song. So, exactly. It's probably the 7th or 8th time I've sung it. I guess it's the last time I've sung it. So it takes on a little extra sadness, but it's all about moving on, so it's also a song of joy. So for you guys.
We did not know if we dreams and of good tomorrow, of yesterdays with their dark despair. We've had our share of love and sorrow, so now we part as friends we can. So here's to you and our time together. We'll share with you now our parting glass, and I'll bid adieu with a smile and laughter. Our time apart will be short and fast. A long, long road now lies before you, and fate will lead you where it will, all through the valleys and over mountains. We'll not forget, but remember you still. So here's to you and our time together. I'll share with you now our parting glass, and I'll bid adieu with a smile and laughter. Our time apart will be short and fast. So here's to you and our time together. I'll share with you now our parting glass, and I'll bid adieu with a smile and laughter. Our time will be short and fast. Our time apart will be short and fast.
Before we perform the tassel turn ceremony thing, I would just like to say, being the class president, it was troublesome at times, but I don't think I would change it for anything in the world. And these 26, 27 minus 1. I passed math. It'll be okay. It's hot. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. So, yeah, as much as I'm sad to see you all go, I know you'll never leave me. Because no matter where I hide, no matter where I go, no matter if I'm sick in bed with a fever, you will all find me. And we all find each other. But that's okay, because we love each other. So members of the class of 2013, please rise. I'm sorry I made you say it. I heard that, Jesse. To officially signify our status as graduates of Campuc Community High School, please move your tassel from right to left. Congratulations!